All right. I think we can officially start, and then everybody can just tune in as we go. Fixing the presentation here. Ow. Okay, let's start. So welcome everybody to our community call today. Like I said in the beginning, we're going to talk a lot about the Web3 social today. In general, what's been built, what's people are building in the space, what's happening, and how can you build your own project as well, essentially, and how Superfluid is mixed in all this potentially as well. So, agenda for today. Before we move on with the guest speakers today, I'm going to give you some community updates that are really important to share with you. And then we have Eric joining us today from Livepeer. He is the CTO of Livepeer, and he's going to tell us how video streaming is driving Web3 social, which is super exciting, and to kind of hear what they are building. Then Fran is going to tell us more about monetization opportunities on Web3 social. You're going to hear a lot about streaming as well. And then we have Jesus joining us from FluidSense. So he is building a decentralized Web3 advertising platform. What it is and how it works, you're going to hear a little bit later on. But it's a really cool project that we actually have also tested out, and potentially we can share some insights from there as well. And then, as always, we have our Q&A in the end if you have any questions. But if you also have any comments, questions, meanwhile, put them in the chat and we will monitor them and answer them as we go. Yeah, just a few updates from our side. We just launched a new update on our dashboard, actually. And that is that you can actually send a stream to a Lens handle. So before you could send a stream to a wallet address or to an ENS name, but now you can actually also stream to a Lens handle. And obviously the money will go to the wallet address that is connected to the Lens handle, but it is accessible now on our dashboard as well. And it will show up with this little avatar, the profile picture that you have on Lens. So yeah, it's really, really cool and easy to basically start the stream to anyone that you want to. Only thing is, if the same wallet address also has an ENS name, the ENS name will overwrite the Lens handle. That's one thing, but yeah, you can check it out today on our dashboard already. It's live, it works, which is really cool. Second update, or a reminder a little bit, is the wave pool that we're running, our community hackathon. And this month in June, it's co-sponsored by Lens, as you may have seen. So we have 8 days left. So if you're still building or are thinking about putting something together, you still have time. So yeah, we're really excited to do this together with Lens. Actually, we just hosted a workshop together with Nader. He's the director of DevRel at Aave and Lens, and Sunny and Nader sat together yesterday on YouTube to build a basic project with Superfluid and Lens. So basically what they built is like a reward system where you can reward people with streams for posting with a certain hashtag on Lens. It's like a really interesting gimmick or a way how to reward your followers or your community, basically. So yeah, you can see that on YouTube. It's live, it's available to view it afterwards. So if you're interested, do check it out. It might be really useful for you. Second thing that we also noticed already, there is a builder in our community building for the wave pool, and he has been using our subscription widget in his project. So he has built a solution how you can subscribe to different accounts on Lenster and pay them in streams. So all the content creators, they can restrict access to their content and actually allow their followers to subscribe with Superfluid streams and essentially, yeah, pay to access the content. It's kind of like a paywall for their content, essentially. And it looks super cool. I think Vijay, maybe you can put the link in the chat he posted like a full Twitter thread about this, and we were really excited to see that. I think it was Bruno who did that, so shout out to Bruno. Just wanted to share with you what's possible with our subscription widget. And a few updates before we move on. We do have one open position in our team, so we are looking for integrations engineer. We are looking for someone who's going to help us and our partners to integrate Superfluid and build out solutions for them. So we need some manpower there. So if you're looking for a new challenge, or if your friends are looking for a job, then know that we're open for applications, and feel free to check it out and share it around if you like. Second thing, we are doing like a community feedback survey, which I shared on Discord a couple of times, and I will put that in the chat as well. It would be great if you can give us some feedback around your community experience here on Discord or in general at Superfluid Community, and also your experience with our dashboard. So it would be great to hear from you. What do you think? What can we do better? How can we improve? So that would be a really good if you can take a few minutes to give us some feedback. And some sad news, unfortunately. As you guys may have known Sam from our team, he has been really active on all of our hackathons and on Discord, and you met him at all of our events potentially, but unfortunately he has left our team and taken up another challenge in his career. So we are gonna miss him a lot, but yeah, it's some sad news. So he's not gonna be around on Discord that much anymore. But yeah, just wanted to share the news with you. But we're really excited for him, and he's doing great. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you. Basically, that's it from me. Yeah, that's the updates from my side, and I'm happy to give it over to Eric.
Sounds good. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Tang from Livepeer. Good to be here, and I already see some familiar faces in the audience. So I want to talk a little bit about how how Web3 social is really changing the landscapes of social media, and especially how video fits into that, and also how kind of commerce fits into that as well. I want this to be kind of like an interactive conversation instead of just like me me like standing on a soapbox. So please type your questions in the chat. I'll be responding to them in real time. And if Jesus or Fran or Victoria, if you guys have anything that you want to ask me about, or like if you want to have a conversation, let's do that. So that I'm not just the only person that's talking here. Cool. So maybe just to set the premise a little bit. Reason I think Web3 social is going to be really important is there's twofold. One is we already see like this in the last 10 years, kind of how the web has grown is really on the backs of like social media platforms, right? Like right now we have less than 10 super big social media platforms that capture most of the attention for the people on the internet today. And that's done really great things for the internet because it brought everyone online, right? It connected everybody. So like I don't think we can discount that. But at the same time, it also created a lot of challenges because of the ways these applications are built. Like they were built basically before the blockchain existed, right? So because of the lack of that tooling, I think these platforms now have a lot of these issues where incentives are not aligned. It's really hard, like they're kind of like captured by these giant corporate interests groups, right? So it's really having the advertising revenue model, right? Like all of those things are starting to introduce challenges and incentive misalignments between the applications and the users that are using them, right? So whether it's politically, whether it's socially, whether it's community based, we're starting to see all of these things that pop up in the news, right? So and that's why I think today, like why Web3 social is such an interesting area, and like why we're at this interesting moment in time where we're seeing all of these Web3 social protocols pop up, right? So we talk about Lens today, but Lens is not the only game in town, right? We have Lens, we have Farcaster, we have DSO, we have Blue Sky, right? We have Noster, right? All of these decentralized social platform, social protocols are popping up. It seems like almost at the same time, right? And I think that's a really interesting phenomenon if you just take a step back and think about like why is that happening? Like why all of a sudden like everybody's starting to build these decentralized social platforms, and I think the reason is because for a long time, because of the dominance of the Facebooks and the Twitters of the world, it's almost inconceivable for people to think about building building a competitor to actually compete with an application with such strong network effect, right? Like, but today, with this like broader social change that's happening, I think application developers are seeing opportunities where we can actually build applications that compete with them, right? People are actually leaving traditional social media platform in droves because of these challenges. So so I think that's really interesting, right? Just to kind of cite the context, I think why now, and why we're doing this. The second thing is why I think video is interesting in this equation. There's some interesting stats that that I think I can share. Like one is, about 80% of all the content on the internet is video content, right? So about 80% of the bandwidth on the internet is video, right? And that's not only because video is just like takes a lot of data, right? So it takes up a lot of bandwidth on the internet, but it's also because that's just like a really, I would say it's like probably the main form of communication that we have on the internet these days, right? Like we're constantly on video calls, we're always watching content, we're always short form content, long form content, live streams, right? These things are like pretty normal day-to-day behaviors for us. Like everything is like there's the big movement of cord cutting, right? So even for traditional TVs, right, all of that content is moving onto the internet, right, and being fragmented and put onto social networks, and they're just being kind of repackaged in the internet native way. So and if we drill in on how that, and because social media is so dominant on the internet, right? Video happened just to become a dominant media format on social media, on social platforms. If we look at Twitter, right? On Twitter, video posts are about 10 times more engaging than other posts, right? So you look at just the engagement metrics. On other platforms, it's not as extreme, but even on Instagram, where it's like a really media-rich environment, video posts perform like 2 to 3 times better than image posts, right? That's a pretty interesting signal, right? Like everybody, at the end of the day, like everybody like wants to watch video on their phone mostly, right? Video, like 70% of video is consumed on mobile devices. And so, and if we look at the relative dominance of attention and time spent between all the social media platforms and the amount of revenue people are making, amount of economic transactions that are happening on these social media platforms, we start to see YouTube just dwarfs everybody, right? The amount of attention that's spent on YouTube versus other social platforms, it just dwarfs all of them, right? And in recent years, TikTok is starting to challenge YouTube in this way, and what you start to see is that content format, like the short form video content format, just starts to make its way into every single social app, right? So now YouTube Shorts is the most dominant content format on YouTube. Instagram stories, video posts on Instagram is the dominant format in Instagram, right? So it just like spreads really quickly, and that's why I think social content is just it's just going to be the dominant content formats for decentralized social applications as well. And when we and the other and there comes with some challenges around just the fact that like video streaming is a very complex piece of technology. It's really expensive to do well, and it's really hard to do well. So we've been working on this project to really address those hard complex technical problems. So from a video streaming perspective, so developers can build the applications that they actually want to build, right? So for example, Livepeer is used by the Lens ecosystem pretty ubiquitously at this point. It's even in the Lens official API, right? So the Lens has this thing called media snapshots, where every single video that gets uploaded into any Lens app automatically gets snapshotted onto Livepeer, and then it's streamed using the Livepeer technology stack. But that's just the beginning. We're also working on a live streaming standard. There's a Lens improvement proposal that's going through right now. That's around just describing how live streaming would work inside Lens. I think that's going to be a really exciting addition to the Lens ecosystem. So and I think the thing that's really interesting about Web3 social and video is that for the very first time, we kind of have these video assets that live by itself, right? And that's in a similar way where for Web3 social, it's the first time where we can have a single social graph that all applications can tap into and build on top of, and that which allows the user to really own their data and take their data with them to different applications. The same thing also applies to video streaming, right? So now for the first time, I can create a video and feel like I actually own that video, and I can take that video content that I created to all these different platforms, that I don't have to feel like the only way that I can share my video is uploading it into YouTube, and then now it becomes a YouTube video, and then I'm subjected to the YouTube rules and advertising model and the monetization scheme, right? That's a huge change. And I think that's where it really connects with the commerce piece. It's because now creators have the freedom to decide how their content gets monetized, right? They can decide who gets to watch their content, why people will watch their content, and how they want to distribute their content, right? So we're working on a lot of interesting experiments around this area. First, whether it's NFT related or token gating, access control related, or kind of on-chain provenance and verifiability is kind of the cutting edge research that we're working on. So lots of interesting stuff. I'm gonna stop here and see if anybody have any questions, or and pass it over. Maybe pass it back over to Victoria.
Yeah, super cool. No, go ahead,
Eric.
Ben.
Yeah, just quickly wanted to check what would be your favorite video platform. Like if we want to go check out some Web3 social video, I've checked out LensTube, but I know that there's so many developers. There's probably a new one by now. So curious what you recommend there.
Yeah, for sure. LensTube is really interesting. They're kind of the first one that's built, like I'd say, like the first like really comprehensive video experience that's built for Web3. There are a couple of mobile experiences that I think are pretty interesting. One is called Orb. It's also a Lens app. It's not a video only app. It's more of a just a really slick mobile client for Lens. But there's video functionalities, and there's actually like a short form video interface where you can kind of scroll the video short videos inside Lens, very similar to how you would scroll like a TikTok feed, right?
Wait, I have not seen that. Is that
Me neither.
like is that a new update?
No, if you just go to Orb, here, I'll open this up, and then
Yeah, I
if you go to
recommend Orb as well. If anyone hasn't downloaded it yet, it's the best.
yeah,
I think it's the best interface for Lens at the moment.
Yeah, it's slick. It's like the best mobile experience for sure. And since most social media happens on mobile, like I would, right? I guess that they're in a good position. So if you, I don't know if you can see, if you go to the search tab and then go to videos, you see this like pretty nice experience that you can just start swiping and swiping.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really cool.
That is really cool. I had no idea.
Yeah, me either.
Wow. Okay. That's wow.
Yeah, so that's
all Livepeer.
Yeah, that's all hosted by Livepeer. Yeah.
So you're
go ahead.
So all the videos transcoded live on Livepeer.
That's right.
Wow. And does Orb run their own nodes, or are they using your hosted service? Sorry for the technical.
No, all good. Yeah, like Orb uses, I believe Orb still uses the Livepeer hosted gateway service today.
Yeah, I guess that's still the weak point, right? And a lot of the solutions we build, it's still easier to use the hosted endpoints for all of these things.
That's true. Yeah. We're starting to decentralize that more always. There are applications that are using their own gateway services. There's one called Xenon. Xenon.xyz. Here, I'll share the link here. Yeah, these guys are building kind of a Web3 version of Twitch, like focused on game streaming. And they run their own Livepeer node and their own orchestrator and everything. And they even have this like crypto economics where they share a part of the Livepeer rewards that they get from the Livepeer network back to the streamers to incentivize them to come and stream more, which is cool.
That's so cool. I was about to ask you if anyone is building decentralized Twitch.
Yes, there's a number of them. Yeah, I think we're really kind of at this place where a number of new application developers are jumping into the space. Like I see one in the audience, Carlos, is building a cool app, MadFi, and as I understand, they'll be using some video streaming elements in that app for as well. So definitely keep a tap on that project.
How hard would it be for us to live stream this community call to something like Xenon?
I think it would be not too difficult. I think what you would do is to for this specific community call, you would probably, like, if you were using Discord to stream, you would use a capture software like OBS to kind of capture the desktop and the audio, and then stream it into Xenon, right? If this is something, and this is only because Discord doesn't have the ability for you to export the video natively, right?
Yeah.
There are a number of applications that allow you to do that already. For example, if you use Zoom for this call, Zoom has a feature that allows you to just click a button and stream to a external RTMP endpoint, and then that can just be anything.
And that could be also Xenon.
Yeah, you can live stream it to Xenon. Yeah, we run all of our we run all of our community calls using using Zoom because of that reason. So we just stream directly into Livepeer.
Super cool. We also have a question in the chat. Xenon is not linked to Lens.
That's right. Xenon is currently not linked to Lens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm just quickly checking if we have any other questions. A lot of links here. Yeah, Marcus, exactly. We can bypass that with OBS Studio. We can always use that for live streaming too. Cool. Thank you so much, Eric. We do have to move on with our speakers, but thank you so much for joining. It was really insightful, and we didn't even know about these cool projects out there. So thank you.
Thanks for having me. Really excited to see Superfluid making a big move on Lens. Yeah, we're big fans.
Awesome. Thank you.
Right.
All righty. So, Fran, are you ready to present us a little on monetization opportunities in Web3 social?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just grabbing a charger. Yes, absolutely. So let me share my screen. I'm not sure I know how to do this on Discord. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
We can.
Okay, cool. Yes, I'm going to talk a bit about monetization and Web3. I think this is a very interesting topic. I think we're still very early, and I'll touch on that as well. But the first thing that's worth talking about is Web2 monetization, because as much as we think Web3 solves every problem, Web2 has solved a lot of problems, right? There's a lot of people making money in Web2, being content creators and advertisers, and the fact that these platforms are so big is an indication that there's a very big market that can be addressed there. The problems are.
We can see your Discord, not anything you present.
What? Okay, wait, how does that work?
You have to choose a window when you share your screen.
Okay, give me a second. Can you stop my sharing?
No, you have to stop it.
Let's try again. Okay, so I'm just going to share the entire screen this time. Can you see? Yeah? Keynote?
Yeah, works.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I was just saying, these platforms make a lot of money, and the biggest problem is that they keep almost all of the money right now, right? Most of the content is not monetized, which means the creators make zero. In a lot of cases, even when it is monetized, the platform keeps almost all the money, in most cases over 90%. In the case of TikTok, if you're a creator on TikTok, you can actually keep around 15%, which is not bad, but it is horrible, right? Like if you think about the difference, if you issue an NFT on OpenSea, you pay 0 fees. If you issue a video on TikTok, if you're lucky, you get 15% of the value you generate for the company. So it's clear that there's a huge opportunity there to disrupt this, right? And that's why, as Eric was saying, there's a lot of companies that are trying to kind of fix that right now at the same time. But one of the things that I think is most important at Web3 social is not just getting more money to the creators, because that ultimately is it's more a factor of competition. Like if there were more competition around these platforms, the margins would simply become slimmer. But what's most exciting and most interesting is that the monetization is fully owned by the creator, right? The creator can set their own rules, and they are sovereign over their content. And that is the part that is truly unique to crypto, right? Because there could be a Web2 platform that shares 100% of the revenue with creators, right? That part is not unique. What is unique is that in Web3, you can set your own rules and you're an owner of your own content. So, I mean, we know Web3 social, right? I think everybody in the chat has heard about it. Lens, Lenster, and Orb, I think, are the best, at least in my experience. I use Orb a lot. I use Lenster a lot. They're both built on Lens. I don't spend that much time on videos, but I must say Eric kind of tickled my interest there. I'm going to try and do that as well. I think the coolest thing about these platforms, and specifically about the protocol, Lens protocol, is that they are bottom up. The protocol of Lens purely defines content types and profiles and connections between that content and those profiles, and everything else is left to the apps, which means anything can be built bottom up So people can build a lot of different apps with different functionalities that work in different ways, that do different things. And that is really, really cool. Like, you know, at Superfluid, we've done a ton of hackathons. We love seeing people take Superfluid and build stuff on top of it. And people love building on Lens as well, right? We've seen people hacking on Lens, building all sorts of stuff, getting really excited about how it's composable and how it's an open standard. And that's why we were so excited to work with them. And, you know, as Victoria mentioned, we are sponsoring the Wave Pool this month with Lens, right? Now, specifically about monetization, before monetization, one thing that I like to talk about as well is that Web3 social does not fix all the problems. There's still going to be censorship and moderation in Lens. Like, you can't go and put illegal content on Lenster. It's going to get removed. You can't go and you know, put offensive content on Orb. It's going to get removed, right? But that content is still on the Lens protocol. They can't remove it from there. So that is the difference, right? The content is censored at the edge. It's censored on the interface rather than at the database layer. The other thing is that there's still going to be value extraction by the platforms, right? Companies like Lens, Orb, Lenster probably not, but Orb and Lens have raised money from investors. At some point, they are going to do something on these platforms that will, you know, in some shape or form, look like value extraction, and that is completely natural, and I think is a good thing, and will lead them to create better products. But let's not be naive about the fact that these companies don't live off thin air, right? They are going to require monetization as well. Hopefully, it won't be as aggressive as that we see in Web 2. And I think it doesn't, Web3 social on its own doesn't solve any problems around how social media in general changes the fabric of society, right? That is, we inherit all those problems. I don't think there's anything specific that Lens does that improves that. But obviously, maybe there will be some better governance. But again, I think those kinds of problems are going to stay. So what about monetization? I think it's important to know that, you know, you set the rules, you decide who can see what, but we're still figuring the whole thing out, right? Like, we really don't know what Web3 social monetization is going to look like, and especially we don't know how it's going to be different to Web 2. I think all the things you can do at Web 2, you're going to be able to do in Web 3, right? You're going to have a lot of advertising, you're going to have product placements, you're going to have people paying for content. All those things are going to happen, but we still haven't seen necessarily things that are completely original, except for some that I'll mention in a bit. So the first one is collecting posts. So this is something you can already do in Lens. I've seen a lot of people doing this where they'll charge a small amount of money for you to take a post and make it yours. What this does, it mints a copy of that post and it copies it to your profile, and you become the owner of it. That post becomes an NFT in your wallet. What for is not totally clear to me, but people are doing it at the moment. I think it's mostly for airdrop farming, but it'll be interesting to see how that evolves in the future as well. So far, we've seen, you know, a lot of different kind of bits and pieces being added. At the beginning, you could only collect. Now you can charge. You can do limited editions, time limits, all sorts of different things. So I think there's still a lot of experimentation that's going on this. I call it everything becomes an NFT, right? So I think that is going to still be kind of something people experiment with. But there's a lot more stuff happening in the meantime, right? So we have FluidSense. Jesus is going to talk about it later. We had MadFi. I think Carlos is also going to share some updates later. And then platforms like Waves that's been out there for a while now, where they basically pay you to promote posts in a kind of share to earn model. And then we have Collabland and Guild, which are platforms for token gating. I know it's not traditionally considered Web3 social, but I consider it part of it because ultimately it's all about taking your connections and somewhat using Web3 to create value in the kind of social aspect. And I think we're going to see subscribe to access as well, although that is something new, right? We've just seen the PR that Victoria shared at the beginning, where somebody enabled you basically to subscribe with Superfluid to get access to posts. But that is still a very new concept. So I think we're still experimenting. It's important to remember that the numbers are extremely small right now. Like none of the numbers of Lens or of any of these applications are remotely sustainable. They're still extremely small, but it's also very promising. And I personally believe Lens and other social apps are probably going to bring on board a lot of users because they don't require you to pay any money upfront. And that is a huge problem with a lot of other Web3 applications. So yeah, I'm very bullish on Lens. We're very excited to work with them, and we're very excited to see what Superfluid can do with Lens. So let's explore a few ideas. I think that what I mentioned before, stream for access, this is the kind of model you have on Substack, where you kind of subscribe to get access to a newsletter, or on OnlyFans, where you subscribe to get access to other forms of content. These are models that work very well in Web 2, so I don't see why they shouldn't work in Web 3, with the added benefit that those streams are composable and programmable, so you could add all sorts of other Web 3 native functionalities to them. Streaming rewards, so this is something that Jesus is going to tell us about later. And a third one is streaming tips and donations. I think this is going to also be a very, very big use case. Donations are a very big use case for payment rails. I don't know how many people noticed, but one of the first uses for Bitcoin was donating money to WikiLeaks, right? So I'm hoping we'll see similar uses of Superfluid for more sustainable long-term donations as well. But yeah, FluidSense, I think I'll let Jesus explain it, but just to highlight, it basically rewarded you for mirroring and following Superfluid. We made a campaign with them on Lens, and it got extremely viral. Like, this is one of the biggest posts we've ever made, and it only cost us about 20 Matic to promote it to this level. So, there's definitely a lot of promise in this. Those are numbers that you don't get in Web2 social. So yeah, hoping to see more of this kind of monetization going forward as well. And to be clear, these 20 Matic went to users of Lens, right? So we didn't pay a platform like we would on Twitter. We paid the users directly. And I think that's extremely valuable. So if you don't follow us yet on Lens, these are my handle and the handle of Superfluid. Please follow us on Lens. We need more followers. So please do that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fran. Just quickly a correction. We had a little bit of a bigger budget than 20 Matic. We had like 150, something like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it was 20 for a bit.
Sorry?
We went over budget. We went over budget.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, but
yes,
it was
right now you only spend that right now. So yes, even I think we have to include the next amount, because at the beginning we only spent 50 US Matic.
Exactly. So yeah, no, it's definitely very cost effective in general, and really interesting way how to boost content and actually reward your followers. So I'm happy to have Jesus here. So feel free to take us away and tell us more about FluidSense.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Fran and Victoria. I'm very, very interested in the Livepeer conversations. I think video, it's really, really very, very huge thing. So let me share the screen. I'm going to talk about FluidSense and present a little bit what really we presenting in the hackathon. We are very, very fans of Superfluid and wait a moment. Yes, we have of Superfluid and very fan of Lens. I think we probably will be one of the first people experimenting with Superfluid and Lens with the first integration. And we think it's really, really interesting topic, because if we think about social media, really what is a business that I think one of the biggest, the big tech is about social media. And this kind of business is on top of advertising. Advertising is probably the way right now this big business really make profits. And they are monopoly, as Eric says. They are out of things that really, in their position, they really abuse from that. And we are really, all people are contributing that this network are amazing. We speaking, we share content, we share knowledge, we share entertainment, we do a lot of things. And I think that is the value of what really, or what's the reason why we really are watching social media a lot of time these days. And I think for generations that early ones are really smooth. So we think, how can really do, first of all, advertising, decentralized advertising, and I'm going to explain that. And for humans, one of the problems that we have also in social media is that it's really difficult to attribute or to really reach really humans. There are a lot of people who makes visits, who do a lot of things. So I think I think crypto has shown something is that it's a really amazing tool for coordinating in real time. I think that's what permits to coordinate around Bitcoin, putting machines around a lot of things that really, if we want to coordinate a lot of people, it's really useful, this technology. And our question was what if you use this platform for coordinating in marketing campaigns, and instead of asking for some influencer or some big media sources, why don't we coordinate with a lot of people and really do the best campaigns with a lot of people earning from getting attention? So because that's what really is really difficult to coordinate at a scale. A lot of people coordinated for that. So we think, okay, we are in a social network that we can really coordinate with a lot of people automatically, and we are in a platform like Lens that permits really to reach all the people. That the content is us. We can, as Franz says, we can decide what we are going to do with our content, and that's what we really was the idea. If we see the advertising model, there is a lot of software, a lot of intermediates trying to really to do this advertising. So it's not only social networks, it's really amazing. A lot of people sometimes adding some value, but sometimes trying to do advertising with this kind of mess of trying to do an efficient advertising with a lot of tools, trying to avoid a lot of things. So that's right now is the advertising landscape. So a lot of things about how to deal with that. So that implies that, okay, we have social network that takes out of profit, and in the other side, there are tools that try to capture the other value. So that's why a lot of people do content, and only the people who really has a lot of followers can really live from that. So and the digital ad spend is growing. So that's a huge market. So why don't we make a fair world, and we try to support on a lot of people who probably can make us to do the best campaign, and try to have the best marketing force. That is a lot of people talking about sometimes something that they they love, and they are not so many. They don't have so many followers, not so many people. They can really be part of our campaign. So that's what we build. So we make with a little. Right now, we are building a lot of functionality, but our first campaign was, okay, we can pay you if you follow us. That was the first idea. Okay, we are going to reward you if you pay us. And right now we have to do a lot of things. And the good thing is about, okay, if you own Superfluid, you can really be sure that you are following me, that you are following and follow. So you can really be sure that you're like me, you are going to follow me, and you are going to do the things that we are really to reward you. So, and that's where Superfluid is fantastic for that, because it's like you can pay for the things you are doing really for the campaign. So that's right now, and people love really that, because it's this kind of paying in real time is like very magic thing, and people likes to do that. So that's why people, okay, and right now we have 3-4 campaigns. We are in the first moments, and people like to really do it. Right now, the campaigns are more sophisticated, and we can segment it. Okay, we can do a campaign for, I don't know, for bribes. We can do a campaign for people who has different things. So we have a lot of segmentation, a lot of people who has a POAP and has access to a Congress. We have all the tools to reach the people who really probably are more near to our product or our thing. So yes, we can let us or invite them to marketing our product. Okay, if you are this kind of people, why don't you, that you probably love sports, why don't you help us to do a big campaign with us? Other people who love sports and love our t-shirt or our shoes, let us know. So that's what we are doing right now, and we are really they have a lot of ideas about real time to select the best people who are doing marketing in real time. We are really paying direct consumers. Why not? When you go to a conference, they give you some t-shirts and they pay you for staying in your stand, and it's okay. And it works. Sometimes we did rewards, you spend a little time. So that's the same. You can reward people. So we can even program rewards. If you do that, you can gamify this. If you do several things, you can be, and for sure we can disintermediate with platform. If you do that on Twitter, or you do that not only in Lens, because Lens also for sure is our best platform. So that's why we are doing it right now. This is the campaigns that we have right now. I'm going to show you some data in real time about the campaigns that we are doing. This is the campaign of Superfluid. We have spent 19 Matic right now. People, more than 25 people have followed and mirrored the post, and we can see here all the people. Here's the active stream. We have closed the stream because, okay, some people has decided not to follow after that, and we are not paying them. No. Okay, if you follow mirror, but after that they don't follow, okay, don't worry. It's not a problem. We are not going to pay you, and we are going to stay here for a month. So, okay, we can real people who really. So right now we have a lot of impact in that post because, okay, we have a lot of mirrors, we have a lot of likes, even they have a lot of comments on top of that. People sometimes mirror and don't follow, or follow mirror, but the thing is, and this is okay, this is only for, because we are rewarding you, it's in some way a little bit mercenary. But imagine you have a post that is very, very, you like it too much about Superfluid to do something that, I don't know what right now Superfluid is doing, and you want to promote even if you don't pay. And it's even interesting from by itself, not because we pay you. So that even can work even better. And that's only with when we start the campaign, Superfluid has only 400. So right now it's 50% of the people. So right now they have 700. They have this amount for 450 more or less, and they don't have too much growth in that moment. I follow. And right now they have growth more than the half, with 20 Matics, and with not so much audience, and with a post that is not so interesting as it could be. I think that makes sense, and I think probably people have mirror because they love the idea, they love to earn from marketing. That's why people share, and also they can. So that's our. So we are right now also thinking about having an. Let me connect my MetaMask. I understand in the future, or I see the future, like one part of your salary or your earnings could be by, okay, do a marketing for the things that you love, for doing things that you want to be even you want to have updates of that. So here I have some campaigns right now in USDC and also in DAI, because we are also doing the next campaign. We are going to DAI. It's not so much, but okay, you can earn all these things, and okay, in the future, why not? Why not all this million of revenue from advertising permits that you share with all the people who really are good marketers or who really do that. And yes, I think they have a lot of things to happen, because marketing is a huge so huge sector, so huge thing. And right now we can really be part of our time to be, I don't know, doing some article, doing some video talking about Superfluid, and yeah, that I think in the future could be probably the best campaign that you can do. So that's what we are doing. We are doing out of our functionality. So we are very excited because our first campaign with Superfluid works very well. But this is only the beginning. So if you have an account and you want to show something or to do something that is interesting, you can really promote, and people help you to promote that. that could be really great. And I think right now in that moment that the social networks are beginning and that the followers are your followers, you own your relationships. I think it's got something that is going to be yours. So it's not in Facebook that you cannot do a message to all the people who follow you. In that network, you are going to this kind of social capital. You can really work on your social capital, and with that, you can also promote or to what your content you think are most valuable. So that's where I think Superfluid has to do a lot of things with earning. So marketing could be also part of where your earns, and even in the future could be people that provides that the social networks makes them to have some earnings. So I don't know, Victoria, anyone has some question, but we have a lot of functionalities that we are developing. Right now we are in the beta testing. So our idea in FluidSense, is to really, wait a moment, yes, we'll have to fundraise something, but we are going, the official launch will be in 4.4. We are going to do some integration. We are going also to test with Twitter. And we are thinking, because when you think about Superfluid, and you think about Lens and social networks, a lot of things really you begin to think about and say, oh, you can do a lot of very funny things. And I think marketing is a good thing. You have to think that a company always, if you have a good marketing, companies always are going to spend a lot of marketing because it's direct revenue. So yeah, I think let's do marketing. Let's do marketing for the things that we really love, and try to be a good marketer and to get earning from your social capital. Let's the social networks share something with all the people.
Absolutely. This is super exciting. Thank you so much for the presentation, Jesus. Our campaign was really successful. I mean, the numbers were just through the roof, and we were really happy. And I think this is a really unique use case for money streams for sure. I actually didn't know that we have some people who unfollowed us and now the streams are canceled. I didn't know that.
Yes, we canceled this stream.
Wow. Okay, that's cool.
Some people is mercenary, so okay, don't worry. They have earned not a lot, because if they follow and unfollow, they have earned not too much, too little.
0.000.
But even in the future, exactly. I think you can also pay not with money. You can earn with tickets, with tokens of Superfluid in the future, or with something that probably even is more valuable for you. I don't know. I imagine to pay not only because Superfluid is payment in a very broad sense, not only money. You can pay with with a lot of things.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm checking the chat now. Marcus is asking, does the stream start again once the account refollows?
Right now, yes. But we can decide, we can program what we want. So it's up to the campaign to say, okay, you follow and unfollow, probably the next time we don't let you to follow us. Well, no, we have right now stopped it some people that becomes to be very, and we were to open, closing. So we have to have some checks in real, because that's implies to open streams. And okay, if you are doing that a lot of times, but we can program, we can do the program, the advertising as we want. So right now, if you open and follow, right now we open it. But if you follow too much times, we ban this account in order not to create the streams a lot of times.
Awesome. And also Carlos is asking, did you build custom infrastructure to do the on-chain stuff with Lens, or is it module?
Right now, we are thinking about there are modules. They are going to be different type of campaigns, and we are really on top of that. We have these different kind of campaigns. Right now, they have mirror and follow. That is one of the. But we are going to present a lot of very, very different, because this is only the beginning of programmatic. So we can I don't know, imagine we can do a lot of things. Right now with the comment, we can also pay the comments or the hashtags. So there are a lot of things that really we can do. We can program, or we can program every day to do something. I don't know. We are opening really possibilities. But at the beginning, we are going to mirror, follow, and do the things that are more. But I think there are a lot of options.
Yeah, and it's really exciting that you're actually also tackling the Web2 space, like Twitter and LinkedIn.
Yes, if you let the lens direction on Twitter, we can pay you if you tweet. Because what we need to have a profile or a direction in which platform we are going to check. Probably I don't know if Twitter permits to, or some platform not permitted to check every second several things. But if you have a profile, we can pay you. Even matter, I don't know. If it's if you a person in television, and imagine we have a television and we can check what the television appears, and it appears something about Superfluid, we can pay the television profile. I don't know. It's really very open. If we can identify some action, we can check it, and there is a direction to pay for that. It's really open. But Lens is the perfect social network because you can research for all the data. All the data is open.
Yeah, exactly.
We can pay you if you have more than 1 million. I pay you. We can do even that because we can check if the wallet has some amount. We can do, yes, it depends of where your profiles have money or not, but we can do several campaigns because as you know, wallets are really public.
That's true. Awesome. Does anyone else have any comments, any questions? Fran, do you want to say a few words? Any comments from your end?
I mean, I'm extremely excited about FluidSense. Very keen to see it expand. Generally, if we can stream money to people for just kind of promoting, basically like you say, right? If you can turn a part of everybody's income into streams just because they do what they do every day anyway on social media, right? That's a huge thing. And I am very excited about what you said about potentially observing Web2 platforms as well. Like I don't see any reason why a Web2 company couldn't use this. I think that's the most exciting thing for me. Because most Web3 tools have very high onboarding costs for traditional companies, right? But here I can see, you could charge your companies in fiat if you wanted to, right? Does it really make a big difference for you? So yeah, very, very cool.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I think we can end it here. I'm just quickly checking the chat. There are a lot of comments around what could be possible with GDA.
You can mirror and follow Superfluid. So and receive and also Crypto Plus. We are going to have all the campaigns that you can apply, and in order to continue following. So and we are going to in the next week we are going to try to have 5 more campaigns. So let's follow also FluidSense because probably there could be a lot of campaigns there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's a good final call. Follow FluidSense on Lens and Superfluid, earn stream. Carlos, I see Carlos is requesting on stage. Let me give you. Do you want to come on stage, Carlos? Oh, you're here.
Hi, I think I'm here.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you. I'll try to keep it short and sweet. So I'll just go ahead and share what I've been building for the wave pool during our spare time.
Feel free.
For context, right? So MadFi, we've been building for a year now, and we were experimenting with Superfluid at the beginning. It was streaming, open a stream, and you have the rights to stream add content wherever on the web. Couldn't raise for it. Okay, cool, pivoted, content monetization. And so now we have this thing that we went to market with, which is a way for creators to earn money, basically through an influencer marketing dashboard. So we have that running on the side, but what we wanted to add actually was we wanted to re-add the Superfluid integration. So what we have as a work in progress right now is the idea that someone can subscribe to another, you can subscribe to a Lens creator just like you can on Lenster. The difference is we have a super app in the middle. So we actually can subscribe to someone from their page, right? /creators/ their handle. You basically what you see on Twitter super follow, and we integrated the super widget, the Superfluid widget here. So that's all good to go. We have a custom smart contract that is a super app. It basically allows us to handle and manage the streams on behalf of the creator. And of course, there's another step where we actually mint a badge for the person that actually subscribes. So the badge is an NFT contract. It's actually it's actually an NFT contract. It's soul bound. It's dynamic. It's probably not going to load because of the contract, but anyways, I'll go back here. But anyways, the idea is that this NFT contract also is integrated with Superfluid IDA, instant distribution. So everyone that's holding one of these badges actually earns rewards as they're distributed from the creators pool. So it's I know I just kind of gave like a lot here, but long story short, we integrated Superfluid widget and we have a custom smart contract, and we'll have it on testnet by the end of the month.
Awesome. Cool. I like the widget, how you've built it. It's really cool.
Thanks. Yeah, it was actually super easy to integrate. Thanks to Vijay for answering all my questions. I know he's on top of it. Yeah, he's getting our user data in there, custom user data. So super cool widget. Thanks for having me on. I hope you guys enjoyed the little demo.
Yeah,
so this is subscribed to a creator directly? Is that the idea?
Yes. So the stream goes to the super app. The super app splits it for the creator, and after taking a protocol fee, and mints the NFT for the subscriber.
Gotcha. And then by subscribing, the whole perks part is separate, right? That's kind of, we don't know how that works.
Yeah, sorry. So that's the part I didn't really get into. So we're also got Livepeer grant as part of the video disruptors program that they have, and so we have this app called Club Space, which is basically Twitter Spaces for Lens profiles. It works right now. It's in production, and it's audio only. So we're adding video using the new Livepeer Studio, and the idea is to build a TikTok / Instagram live experience. That's obviously optimized for desktop, but the idea is having a good mobile experience as well, kind of like what you just saw for LensTube, but obviously with live video, and the rewards are baked into this. So if you're subscribing to the person that's streaming, you obviously get pushed to the top. You have this cool PFP decoration that shows you're a subscriber. Maybe your comments are a little more prominent as well. And then as you engage with the content, as you engage with like the post or the live stream, you earn reward points that actually are units for IDA, right? So once we have a super token in the future, we can easily distribute those via IDA.
That's really cool. Maybe we should host them. Maybe we should try and host some spaces there. I mean, consider us your first user.
Boom.
Whenever it makes sense.
Yeah. It's definitely all a work in progress. The first step was to integrate LiveKit, and the grant was like a 3-month process. So I think late next month, early August is when you guys can use it.
Awesome.
Sounds good.
We're excited. Also, actually, quick update on the Wave pool. So if anyone wants to share their project or their project on Twitter and make a Twitter thread about it, and you win a bounty through the Wave pool, we actually put out the little reward for everyone who posts on Twitter as well. So Feel free to share your work and tag the protocols that you use and all the help you've got, because that will give you exposure in the space. So definitely do that as well. Cool. So thank you everyone for joining. I know that we went over a little bit. I'm so sorry. But we had great discussions and talks here today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for the speakers for coming on stage today. I hope you got some great insights. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Put them all on our Discord and we will come back to them. But yeah, other than that, have a great evening, great day, and see you around.
Thank you for joining, everyone. Cheers.
Thank you for joining.